So do you also want to send automated SMSs? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to send custom SMS after new Google Calendar appointment. So like you, I also use Google Calendar to schedule the appointments for my business. And now what I want is that as soon as a new appointment is scheduled, I want to send an automated SMS. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Calendar and Twilio. And we are going to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language using an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to automatically send SMS reminders for upcoming appointments scheduled in Google Calendar. So whether you are managing client meetings, classes or consultations, this setup ensures your attendees receive timely text reminders, reducing the no-shows and keeping everyone on track. The SMS includes the few details and it's a custom SMS with the name. So yes, we are just going to create this amazing automation using Pabbly Connect, that too without knowing any programming or coding language. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. Now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect right over here, and we're just going to create this automation using Pabbly Connect only. But before we move on further, I'll just show you something really helpful. This is Pabbly community where automation users, marketers and business owners connect, a space where users share ideas, solutions and workflow tips. So if you are stuck at any step, the community is a great resource of guidance. And to join this community, you have to check out the description box below. We have attached the link over there. Alright, so now I'm just going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect to move on further and create this automation. So when we're just going to move on further, you're going to see that we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of hours free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps and we're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And now it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connect account, and to get started, I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me to select the workflow builder, the new one or the classic one. So the new workflow builder is faster and more flexible and ideal for those who want a modern interface. But the classic one, on the other hand, is perfect for users who prefer a stable and tried and tested setup. So you can use any one of this. I'm just going to use this new one. So I'm just going to simply click on this select for the new one. Alright, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard, you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you want to create a new folder, you can simply go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now for the workflow name, I'm simply going to enter it as this: send SMS reminders for appointment using Google Calendar. And then I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this, you can understand that the trigger is the command for the workflow and the actions are response towards the same commands given by our trigger. Alright, so over here, the trigger starts the process while the actions are the result for it. So for me, the trigger will be Google Calendar, that whenever a new appointment is scheduled in my Google Calendar, and then for the action, we'll select Twilio right over here in order to send automated SMSs. Alright, so now I'm just going to simply select the trigger right over here, which is Google Calendar. So I'm just going to simply search for Google Calendar right over here, and as you're going to see the same right over here, so I'm simply going to select Google Calendar. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to simply select it as new event and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Calendar account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to go towards this add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And once you click on this sign in with Google, Pabbly is going to ask you to select the Gmail account with the help of which you want to connect this Google Calendar. And after selecting the Gmail account, Pabbly is going to ask you for some permissions. So what you can do is you can simply give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because your data is secure with Pabbly. And once you give Pabbly all the permissions, automatically your Google Calendar account will be connected. I have already connected my Google Calendar account, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And now it's asking me to select the calendar, so I'm simply going to select it as this. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Google Calendar is a pooling based application. So what do I mean by pooling based? So pooling based applications don't check for new data instantly. They take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Google Calendar, it is saying the trigger will check for new data in 10 minutes. So once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Google Calendar. So first I'm just going to do the test submission, and then only I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. So I'm just going to open the appointment page, and let's say I'm just going to schedule the appointment of 21 July. And now after scheduling this, I'm just going to simply select the time as 12 p.m. I'm just going to simply select the time as 12 p.m. Over here it is asking me for my contact information. So I'm simply going to enter my contact information right over here. Let's say for the first name, I'm just going to keep it as Smart. Last name as user. For the email address, I'm just going to keep it as smart22@pabblytudes.com, and this as the phone number. And after entering all of these, I'm just going to simply click on this book. And once I'm just going to click on this book, yes, you can see that we have successfully booked the appointment. And now I'm just going to open my workflow and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received the response right over here. I'm just going to show you the response. And over here in the description, you're going to see the rest of the details which have been received. Over here, you can see the same name, same email address, and the same phone number which we entered has been received. So yes, now you can see that we haven't received this in different field. So what I'm just going to do is first I'm just going to extract this phone number and the name, all right, and then we're just going to continue with this automation. So to extract this number, I'm just going to add the action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as text formatter by Pabbly. It is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the text. Now for the event, I'm just going to simply select it as basic formatting and click on this connect. And now it is asking me for the string. So over here we have to give the string with the help of which I want to extract the text. So I'm just going to give the whole description from which we're just going to extract the number. Alright, but before entering this description right over here, I'll just let you know that I'm not going to enter it manually, but instead I'm just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Calendar as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as I'm just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So we're going to see that this is the description. So I'm simply going to map it. And after mapping this, I'm just going to move on further. It is saying transform. So what I want is I want to extract the phone number. So I'm just going to simply select the transform as extract phone number right over here and click on this save and send test request. And now you can see that it has successfully extracted me the phone number. Now you can see that we have successfully extracted the phone number, and now I'm just going to extract the name too, so that we can send personalized SMS to all. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to add another action step. Once again, for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as text formatter by Pabbly. For the event, I'm just going to select it as text parser this time and click on this connect. And as you can see that this is the summary, so I'm simply going to map it. And now for the text match after, I'm just going to simply enter this brackets right over here for after and before. So I'm just going to simply enter this after and before and click on this save and send test request. And as you can see that we have successfully received the name too. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to format the date. Why are we going to format the date? I'm just going to let you know further in this video. So yes, first I'm just going to add another action step, and now I'm just going to format the date. For that, I'm just going to use a feature by Pabbly, which is date time formatter. And now for the event, I'm just going to simply select it as format time zone only and click on this connect. Over here for the date, I'm just going to simply map the date, which is the start date. So I'm just going to look for the start date and time and map it. And now for the from format, I'm just going to simply select this from format, which has T in between. So I'm just going to look for T right over here. And as you can see, only a single format has T in between right over here. So I'm simply going to select it. Now for the from time zone, I'm just going to simply select it as UTC. And for the to time zone, I'm over here in India. So I'm just going to select Asia, Kolkata. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And as you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully corrected the time zone. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to first add a delay in this workflow. All right. So to add a delay, I'm just going to click on this add action step. And I'm just going to select the action application as delay right over here. And now for the action event, I'm just going to simply select it as add time delay and click on this connect, because what I want is I want to send automated SMS 2 times, which is 1 hour before the event and also 1 day before the event. So first I'm just going to delay this workflow till the 1 day before the event. And how are we going to do that? For that, I'm just going to select it as delay until, and now we have to give a specific date right over here, till what time I want to delay this workflow. So to get this specific, what I'm just going to do is we have to enter the date in this format, right? So what I'm just going to do is first I'm just going to save it right over here. So let's say I'm just going to enter a sample date and I'm just going to first save it right over here. And we first are going to get the details in this format. And what I want is I want to delay this workflow until 1 day before the event. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to first add an action step between this date time formatter and delay. So I'm just going to simply add it right over here, which is date time formatter once again. So I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the event, I'm just going to simply select it as add or subtract the time and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to enter the date. So I'm simply going to enter the start date and time right over here, which is I'm just going to map it. And now I'm just going to move on further. It is asking me for the expression. So what I want is I want to get out the date of 1 day before the event. So I'm just going to enter -1 day. So I'm just going to simply enter it right over here. This is the expression. Now for the to format, I'm just going to simply enter the format which it asks to enter the date in my delay step, right? So I'm just going to look for the same format and we're going to see that this is that format. So I'm just going to simply look for that format first right over here. And as you can see that over here is the same format. So I'm simply going to select it. And now it is asking me to enter the date. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to simply enter the date right over here, which we received from this response of our date time formatter. So I'm simply going to map it right over here. And now for the expressions, we have to minus the 1 day. What I want is that from this date, I want to send an SMS 1 day before this date. So I'm just going to simply minus a day. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to simply enter -1 day right over here for the expression so that we can get out the date for which we're going to add the delay. And now for the to format, I'm just going to simply select the to format which we required in order to enter the date in delay step. So this is that. So I'm just going to simply select it right over here, which is this. And now I'm just going to move on further. For the from format, I'm just going to simply select this T format. So I'm just going to look for T. And as you can see the same, so I'm simply going to select it and click on this save and send test request. And as you can see that we have successfully received the date and time. So the date is 27/2025. And over here, I'm just going to open it. And as you can see that I booked the appointment for 21 July 12 to 12:30. And we have received the date exactly 1 day before the event, which is 20 June 2025 at 12. So we have successfully received this date. And now I'm just going to map this date right over here in this delay. So I want to delay this workflow until this date. So I'm simply going to erase this and I'm just going to map this add subtract time date right over here and click on this save and send test request. And now you can see that we have successfully received the positive response. It is saying delayed until this date. So now what is going to happen is that whenever we're going to receive a new event, first this workflow is going to be delayed until the day before the event. All right. And now I'm just going to move on further. What I want is I want to send an automated SMS 1 day before the event. So to do this, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to use Twilio. So I'm just going to add another action step after this delay. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Twilio. So I'm just going to search for it and select it right over here. And now for the app event, I'm just going to simply select it as send SMS message and click on this connect. Now in order to connect this Twilio, you have to go towards this add a new connection. And now to connect Twilio, it is going to ask account SID, authorization token and account SID. So what you have to do is you simply have to open the dashboard of your Twilio account and over you're going to see the account SID, authorization token and account SID. So you can simply copy these details right from here and paste it right over here and your Twilio account will be connected. I've already connected my Twilio account, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And now it is asking me for the body of SMS. So I want to send a SMS something like this 1 day before, which is hi, this is a friendly reminder about your appointment scheduled for tomorrow. So I want to send a message something like this. I'm simply going to first enter the body of the SMS right over here. And as you can see that I've simply entered enter the body of the SMS, and over here in front of hi, I'm just going to map the name. So I'm just going to look for name right over here, which we have extracted using text formatter by Pabbly. So over here, I'm just going to open this step, and over here is the name. So I'm simply going to map it. So this is the reason why we extracted the name, because I want to send each of my user a personalized SMS. Now it is asking me for the sender's number. So we simply have to open the Twilio account, and over here is my Twilio phone number. So this is the sender's number. So you simply have to copy it right from here, and you have to paste it right over here. And after pasting this, it is asking me for the recipient number. So yes, we have extracted the recipient number too from the basic formatting right over here. So I'm simply going to map it. And after doing all of this, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just replace this phone number with my original phone number so that I can show the message and the response received. And as you can see, that I've successfully replaced this. And now I'm just going to click on this button which says save and send test request. And now you can see that we've successfully received the response, that we've successfully sent the SMS. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to open the SMS and show it to you. And as you can see that we've successfully sent the SMS to smart user, but it is saying send from your Twilio trial account because I'm using a Twilio trial account. That's why this line has been sent. But if you're using a Twilio paid account, your users will not receive this line. They're directly going to receive the message from hi smart user. So as you can see that I've successfully sent this SMS for 1 day before. Now I'm just going to send it for 1 hour before the event. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to simply copy this step. So I'm just going to go towards this step. I'm just going to left click on this, and now I'm just going to click on this copy step, and now I'm just going to go towards this Twilio, left click and then paste step. And we're going to see that this step has been pasted, and I'm just going to open it. And what I'm just going to do is instead of this 1 day, I'm just going to keep it as 1 hour, and rest of the details I'm just going to keep it as same only, and click on this save and send test request. And as you can see that we've successfully received the date and time 1 hour before the event, which is 11/21/07/2025. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do same with the delay. I'm just going to copy this step and paste it right over here, and I'm just going to just change the delay date right over here from this to the new response received one. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And after doing this, yes, you can see delayed until this time. So now I'm just going to move on further, and same I'm just going to do with the Twilio too. I'm just going to simply copy this step, and I'm just going to paste it right over here, and I'm just going to open and change the body of the SMS. Alright, so I'm simply going to change the body of the SMS right over here. I'm just going to paste it right over here. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to map the name too. So I'm just going to simply map the name right over here. I'm just going to look for name in the response of my previous step, and I'm just going to map the name from this text parser. Now I'm just going to move on further. Once again, I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And as you can see that we have successfully received this message. Yes, this is a message 1 hour before the event. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is that whenever we're going to receive a new appointment from Google Calendar, automatically using this workflow, automated SMS reminders will be sent 1 day before the event and 1 hour before the event, so that we can reduce the no-shows. So I created this automation only for 1 day before the event and 1 hour before the event, but you can create this automation for n number of days, for 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, or according to your own use case. Alright, and what you have to do is you don't have to come back and again to our workflow. Automatically the SMS will be sent whenever a new event comes in Google Calendar. You don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. All of this is going to happen in backend, and you can just sit back and relax. So yes, now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.